Hi, it's Alia. Welcome to my channel. This is the Weather Channel where I help you get through the whether or nots in your life. And today I am doing another long form reading about the month of April, just various things that might come up, various things that pop up into my mind. So first I want to start out with just a general reading for the economy because that's something that affects us all. We've been seeing a lot of issues here. Let me transition. Going on with protests, with tariffs, trade agreements, trade wars. Just shuffle these, and it's a little frightening. Ooh, interesting cards. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. We've got the Page of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and Justice. And underneath it all, we have the Magician reversed. So this is really interesting, you guys, and let me tell you why. This came up actually in another reading that I did that completely had nothing to do with this one. But, okay, so at the base of this, the current energy is the Ace of Swords. So the economy's not dead yet. It's regressing. This is definitely giving me recession vibes. But it's not dead yet. It's not dead in the water. We still have some hope here. And so what I'm getting at is we have an Ace of Swords, we have an Ace of Pentacles, and we have an Ace of Wands. It's reversed, but it's an ace. Okay, now I want you to check out this Magician card. All right, so with the Magician, we see that he has a cup, a wand, a sword, and a pentacle. Okay? This is all he needs to manifest whatever he wants. Now, the fact that it's reversed shows that it's, probably not for the greatest good. It's probably for self-gain. There are less than noble motives involved. That's, the undercurrent here. But perhaps that the reason for that is we have all of the elements here except the wands. The wands are the element of action. And we have a lot of saber rattling here. Ha ha ha. Forgive the pun. But yeah, like we have sword, sword, sword. And the rest of it is, pentacles. Right? We don't have any cups, actually. That's really what we're missing. This is inaction, and we don't have any cups. So what the Magician is missing actually is not action. I apologize, I misspoke. It's compassion. There's no compassion going on here. So indeed, I think we're seeing this here because while in the past, we have some new opportunities financially come up. And indeed, this is probably the case. It's probably more behind the scenes because of just the various tariffs and trade wars and trade agreements and making of new ones and throwing out of old ones, etc. There's probably a lot of scrambling for businesses to get on the ball and resource things and find different ways to get around hurdles for manufacturing, shipping, things of that sort. So I believe that over here, which is kind of the here and now, we see a lot of unresolved issues. There's a lot of bitterness. So this is, if you were to look at this as just reflecting the public, that there's a lot of uncertainty still. And that's why that's kind of relating to this overarching energy. In the near future, if everything is going as the energy here suggests that it's going, and this is something that we need to talk about with tarot cards, I didn't choose the name The Weather Channel just on a whim because I thought it was funny. It really is kind of like predicting the weather. So the best you can do is take the energy at this time and make a reasonable prediction based on where those energy currents are going, just like how one would track a storm system. Now, people have free will, and if people change their minds from here until then, all bets are kind of off, which is why longer term predictions are a little bit more dicey. But, I mean, especially if you're reading for a whole economy, there's so many people involved, right? But given all of this right now, the current energy, it looks like we're going towards even more decision and even more turmoil. It looks like we're being forced to make decisions that we don't really want to make, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, we have wealthy people living their life. That must be nice. So it's a very stark contrast here between the people who don't have to make these decisions and people who really do. This is like everyone else. We're going to have to make some tough decisions. It's probably involving the money, because look at the distribution of money here. It's here. And that's appropriate. We're talking about the economy, right? So this Ace of Wands, it looks like there's just going to be a lot of delays, especially in communication. So I'm really, because of the Justice card, because of the Queen here, the Court cards, I'm getting the sense that there's going to be some sort of legal issue here regarding the economy, maybe with the Federal Trade Commission or something. That's going to be coming to a head next month. But it looks like a lot of the time will be spent waiting on decisions. And that's also probably what's feeding into all of this indecision and recession energy. The Page of Cups is the public. They're really calling out for some compassion. They're calling out for anything, just to consider everyone else, right? And this is a vocal card. The Queen of Pentacles is, this is the hopes and fears. The country wants what's best. They don't want what's best just for the few. They want what's best for everyone. They want this to be a nurturing environment where businesses can grow and people can thrive. Okay? But in the end, justice is going to win out. There will be a decision made. It's going to be the fairest decision. It might not be the decision you want. It might not be the decision they want, but it's going to be a decision, and it's going to be in the highest good for everyone. So that's what I get for the economy. It looks like more recession energy. It looks like perhaps some legal issues surrounding the Federal Trade Commission or something having to do finances, FDIC maybe, banks. But we'll see what happens. This may also have to do with the courts in general. So let's actually do our next reading on that, because just yesterday, and we are talking, this is March 26th, 2025. So just yesterday, Speaker Johnson kind of seemed to be floating the idea that they get rid of federal courts in general. Now, obviously, this caused quite a stir. I mean, people are are divided on, I mean, I shouldn't say people, Republicans are even divided on this. The rest of us think it's probably going to be a disaster. But let's see how this goes. Okay, so tell us, what does Speaker Johnson really have in mind for the federal courts? What is the fate of our federal courts? Okay. Okay, first card we get is the Empress. That's promising. This is something coming into fruition. Generally, it's a good card. It's a card of multiplying, not a card of dividing. So that's kind of a good thing. Across we have the King of Pentacles, someone who's very stable. This is stability. So I think just from these two cards alone, it appears that our courts are going to be kind of status quo, but let's see what happens. So in the past, we have the Devil, which suggests being bound to something. But it's of your own volition. I'm sorry, that's my cat singing the song of his people in the background. The Emperor reversed. That's in the present situation. This is the card of a tyrant, someone who is not a very good leader. This is a dictator. This is unrest, actually. Okay, let's see. Overarching energy is the Chariot. So that can suggest delays. Lessons to be learned from this are the Eight of Swords. So this is kind of a captivity card. I think this is suggesting that Mr. Speaker has painted himself into a corner. Yeah. I think this is showing that whatever he had planned, whatever his intentions were, they're going to be slowed down. He painted himself into a corner and people are going to call him to task for it probably. But let's, actually I can't say that yet. Let me see. Yes, people are going to call him to task for it. That's a very good outcome. So what's in store for the courts? It looks like they're going to stick around. It looks like there's going to be some shenanigans going around, but everything's going to work out. We're going to have status quo. Everything's going to be pretty stable. Okay. So that's a good reading. Let's see. So I was reading around, so every so often things come up into my feed, and we've been talking about the Simpsons a lot lately. Just I and the people I hang out with, and there's a lot of talk going around with how the Simpsons have predicted a bunch of things. So it's good to know that a lot of this is AI stuff and it's been largely debunked. I mean, the fact of the matter is history is kind of cyclical. The Simpsons is a satire show. It's cynical. That's why it's so funny. But they're bound to get some things right because cynics are usually realists. Let's face it, right? But something that I saw kind of in passing of an episode was, well, first of all, Lisa Simpson going into office as president, and her comment that former President Trump had left the country in lots of turmoil financially, which is kind of funny. But the other thing was there was a poster, kind of a little blip. It wasn't even part of the story about Ivanka running for president. And that's not out of the realm of possibility, actually, right? So I want to see, will Ivanka Trump put in a bid for the presidency? I'll do a quick spread on that. What's the vibe around Ivanka Trump running for president? See here. Whoops. What's this? Oh, Page of Pentacles. And Eight of Cups. Maybe not, but let's see. And some more. Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. First we got the Eight of Cups. Let me see if I can find that again. Okay. Just based on the cards that have fallen out, which is totally legit. I'm sorry for all the background noise. I really have no idea what's going on. We first came across the Eight of Cups, which is withdrawing from your social circle. So after her father's first term, we did see her just kind of withdraw. I haven't heard a lot from her recently. I don't know if you have. But I think that from these cards here, I think she feels bound to the Trump name, and it's kind of giving her maybe some shame, dare I say it. She's not proud to be associated with the name of Trump, and she thinks it would be a very bad idea to run. That's what I'm getting from these cards. So, no bid from Ivanka. Crisis averted, perhaps. Although of all of them, my money's on her to be the one with the steadiest head on their shoulders. My opinion, though. But as far as other people, I want to know about AOC. Let's see what AOC's future is like. So what is the energy around AOC running for president? I don't know when, but will AOC ever run for president? She seems to be one of the big movers, shaker people in the Democratic Party right now. Let's see what happens. Do you see AOC in the presidency? Let's check it out. Let's stop there. Five of Swords reversed. Ooh, Strength. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. Again with the Two of Swords. Interesting. Seven of Cups. Page of Wands. Ten of Swords reversed. Four of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. At this point, I don't know that she's going to be doing it because it let's see, underneath it all, we have Three of Cups. Okay, so I think what this is saying is the changes within the Democratic Party have been very slow going. The Knight of Pentacles is very methodical, and it's very considered, but it's slow. It's like the slowest knight card, I think. The Nine of Swords is like anxiety, and that's in the recent, just current energy. I think AOC is probably getting a lot of pushback. She and Bernie Sanders are going on tour. I think that's what this Strength card is all about. I think she's trying to project inner strength and the potential inner strength of the Democratic Party, but she's getting a lot of grief for it. And in fact, this might lead to her just kind of psychologically withdrawing for a while. It's a lot. Yeah, kind of a lot on her plate here. And now we come to the Seven of Cups reversed. That is really interesting. I think what she's going to learn from all of this is that maybe this country is not quite ready for a female president. At least they're not ready for her, right? This is kind of delusions, making better decisions, smoke and mirrors. I think she's just going to get the vibe on her tour that, maybe now is not the time. Maybe this isn't the best time for this. Let's see, Page of Wands, that's just basically communication, that's moving forward. We've got reverse Ten of Swords, the gruesome card. I know people read this card in different ways. I personally read it that you kind of, she's feeling like maybe she went into this and positive that she would want to take on this role, but I'm getting the feeling that she's, because of this realization, she's seeing it as dodging a bullet. Maybe she doesn't really want to do this. Maybe she's seeing her future as more as what it is right now. Maybe she feels like she's better serving her country where she is. And hopes and fears, I think she's feeling like she's giving too much of herself right now. I think that she wants to hold on. She's going to want to hold on to more of that just for her own sanity. It's kind of all consuming, and she's just giving it all away. And the Page of Pentacles, that's just, yeah, I think that's just a no. I don't think she'll be putting in a bid for presidents anytime soon. Maybe further out into the future, but certainly not by the next election. Although, I want, this is a really good underlying energy card, which is just that she's really into the teamwork. She's really into the camaraderie. And I think this is her intention. She wants to bring the Democratic Party together. I think this is real, like, Tea Party vibe energy. Maybe she wants to help reform the help reform the Democratic Party, in much the same way that the Tea Party did with the Republicans. So, okay. I think that's all we're going to do for this video. Stay tuned for more videos. If you have a topic that you would like for me to cover, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can get around to doing that. Otherwise, I have lots of short form videos that you are free to watch and get what you can out of that. So thank you for joining me, And if you like more content like this, please give me a like and hit subscribe, and I'll just keep showing up on your feed over and over again. Oh, no, I promise I'm not stalking you. Okay, until next time, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.